for a second because I was just doing a live show and it always messes me up. So first things first. A lot going on. The title is definitely not clickbait because there's a lot. The tension is just, it's getting. Israel is on its highest alert. The president put something out regarding Diego Garcia. I mean, the statements from White House press secretary, the rhetoric coming out of Iran. There's a lot to cover. What's up, Birdman and British Soul? Let me just get sorted on my end. Why is this not working? Uncle Tank, what's up? I agree. Strike is imminent, but by whom? I'm not even kidding when I say that now. By whom? Israel, Iran, U.S.? The way things are going right now? And we had a nice discussion on the Discord, general chat, for those that were there. A lot of information was exchanged while we were offline. NOTAM issued, they're doing ballistic missile tests into the Gulf of Oman, Iran is. The tankers keep coming. The reports indicate that the carrier is off of Morocco entering the Strait. It should have by now. They're estimating Saturday or Sunday. There's a lot going on. I mean, it would take me quite some. We have time, but there's a lot to unwrap here. And we were going through it on Telegram. I have some images that I had shared on Telegram. There's still a lot of air traffic, so I'm not going to focus on that right now. But it's just nonstop. I mean, I'm going to put photos up because I don't even know what photos for any given time. We were exchanging a lot of information.
If you wanted to call, talk to me, don't call me like that.
Who? What are you talking about? I'm live talking to people here. What are you talking about?
Well, it looked like if you called me.
No, I didn't call your phone. I'm here talking to people here. All right. Anyway.
That's weird.
So CENTCOM put this out 20 minutes ago. They just had to put this out. The Hornet can go from full stop to airborne in under 3 seconds. They just dropped that out there. They just put that out there. Like, let's just show. I mean, little subtle things are being put out there. I'm going through. This was posted earlier. What's up, Mohammed? Shadow Man, I would have to do that. Email me or come into Discord. I don't know if they're in here yet. I don't know if Red Bull is in here yet. Or anybody, can you share the link for Discord so we can put information? Red Bull, put the Discord. But also, Shadow Man, you may want to email me because that's private information I would share with. So make Iran great again. I mean, make Iran great 99. Yeah, that's better. Make it darker. Because I don't want to put the information in here because you know there are elements watching. I'm not kidding either. All right, let me get rid of this quickly. Hold on. There's quite a bit. And thanks to all those that were in the Discord chat. Here, let's put Lindsay. He's not happy with Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia is now moving backward. They're attacking the United Arab Emirates pretty viciously for being in the Abraham Accords.
Well, they say it's because of Sudan and Yemen.
There is no good reason for this. You can have disputes about Sudan and Yemen, but they're basically declaring war. Saudi Arabia.
So that was Lindsay during an interview about that. This, like I said, we got a lot to cover. There's a lot coming out, and I just got to sort through it all. This is regarding Diego Garcia. The president posted this earlier. There's a lot of tankers, Eugene, a lot. I mean, it's hard to keep up with all the tankers. And there were 4 AWACS earlier. Okay, so I'm going to leave that on the screen. You guys can read it for yourselves. But it's telling them about the United States' need to possibly use Diego Garcia in order to eradicate a potential attack by a highly unstable and dangerous regime. So you can see what the president is putting out this in regards to Diego Garcia. That was earlier. We need to use Diego Garcia, Starmer. Don't get any ideas. Pretty much. Hold on, let me see what the next photo is. Because like I said, we were exchanging information earlier. This was a Fox News X post. The U.S. is giving Iran an ultimatum: dismantle the nuclear program or face other options. Reports on the failing talks in Geneva and why Israel thinks a deal is impossible. And believe me, Israel's under the highest alert right now. We'll get into that. This is allegedly from the pro-regime propaganda arm. Grave sites for 5,000 U.S. soldiers to be put into them. I think it's more about their own people that they massacred. But this is the rhetoric they're putting out. This image here near Tehran. I think it has to do more with what they did to their own people. Look at that. Now, that's just insane either way you look at that. It just doesn't stop. This was allegedly reported, and I'm sure they're using marine traffic because this looks like a marine traffic because I have it. This was hours ago. That it's off of Morocco and it was entering the Strait. It's probably past that now because this was hours ago. So this is... And I'm a little fishy here. Look. Wait a minute. Wait. What's this? What is that? Because remember, it was there at one point. I'm a little iffy on this. I got to be honest. I'm a little iffy on that. It is. It's ridiculous, Snoopy. It's just... It's crazy. And I'm not even reading you the stuff yet. I'm not even reading... the stuff that I'm going to read in a minute because it's just overwhelming. We know about the tankers. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's the avalanche. Oh my God. That was horrific. I think I'm pretty caught up with the photos I was exchanging in Discord. Now let's get to some of the cray-cray. I'm going to scroll up to the top because it's... And I'm going to start with the propaganda arm. I'm going to start with that first. I'm going to read to you from the pro-regime media outlet. The U.S. is much more pessimistic about the talks in Geneva than previously reported in the media, and has issued Iran an ultimatum, the one you saw Fox News put up, to fully dismantle its nuclear program or face other options. Iran is preparing for war with the United States and Israel after concluding that the fundamental gaps between Iran and the U.S. in the negotiations are too significant to bridge. So despite what we seen yesterday from Geneva, it looks like on both sides there's a lot of frustration, and they don't think that it's going to come to any kind of fruition for a deal. There was a NOTAM issued earlier for ballistic missile tests toward the Gulf of Oman by Iran. That's dangerous in itself. That is freaking dangerous. Lincoln is not too far. And you're doing missile tests into the Gulf of Oman? I mean, one miscalculation. This is interesting. Tucker Carlson says he and his staff were detained at Ben Gurion International Airport and interrogated for several hours by Israeli authorities, demanding answers about the contents of his recent interview with U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. Daily Mail reported that. Then they were talking, wow, this is new. You know the Triton that's been flying out of the UAE? It's being transferred to the base in Jordan. This is what they're alleging. Remember, this is the pro-regime media outlet. Possibly part of a wider evacuation of American bases that are within Iran's SRBM short-range ballistic missiles. A spokesman for the United States Embassy in Israel denied in a conversation with the Daily Mail that Carson was detained, claiming that he received the same questions during the passport checks that countless visitors to Israel received. So Tucker Carlson stating one thing and the embassy saying totally something different. Just based on I'm reading right now. This is not the propaganda arm anymore. This is an Israeli reporter. Israel is at its highest level of readiness amid concerns that Iran may attempt a preemptive strike ahead of a potential American strike. Home Front Command Chief, quote, "We are preparing for launches from Iran. There will be a 10-minute early warning," end quote. So the tension is really rising. I'm going to download this little clip. I think you guys will get an idea what we've been talking about for the last 24 hours with the refuelers moving around. Let's put this up. Think of it in an extended GIF. I'm going to have to start deleting some of this stuff. All right, hold on. It is crazy, cray. I'm going to let this play a couple times so you get an idea. And they're just showing you this area. Forget about the movement from the United States and Europe, UK. It's all over the place. This is just a small sample size because it's been non-stop coming from the US into UK, then coming down. It's just non-stop. The amount of tankers. We counted 25 this morning in the air. 25. And there were people here that can back me up on that earlier. It was 25 in the air. That's a lot. All right, let me see. Carolyn, and I don't know if it plays the video. Let's hear it. I am not going to show the video, but we'll hear it.
Well, there's many reasons and arguments that one could make for a strike against Iran. The president had a very successful operation as commander-in-chief with Operation Midnight Hammer, as you know, as you just said, totally obliterated Iran's nuclear facilities. The president has always been very clear, though, with respect to Iran or any country around the world, diplomacy is always his first option, and Iran would be very wise to make a deal with President Trump and with this administration. He's talking to many people, of course, his national security team, first and foremost, and you know who the members of that team are. And this is something, obviously, the president takes seriously. He's always thinking about what's in the best interest of the United States of America, of our military, of the American people, and that's how he makes decisions with respect to military action of any kind. Well, there's many.
Unfortunately, I gotta raise that audio up so high just to get to hear it, because a lot of the audio quality is poor on these clips. That was Carolyn Levitt earlier today. I'm just reading, catching up. The tension is definitely very high right now. Very. Iran is intensifying pressure on Hezbollah to join the campaign. Unlike the 12-day war, Tehran now seeks the Shiite terrorist organization direct involvement in any confrontation with Israel should a campaign unfold. Israel has delivered a clear warning. If Hezbollah intervenes, the response will be far more severe than in the past. The IDF is also preparing for potential involvement by the Houthis and other Iranian proxies across the region. Let me see what this one, the pro-regime one is saying. Not much. Okay, this was this afternoon, a few hours ago. Iran is completely... What? Oh, Iran is negotiating, yes. But everything Iran is actually doing behind the scenes signals they know a U.S. or Israeli attack is definitely coming. Burying the Isfahan tunnel entrances. Burying Telekan 2. Transferring large amounts of anti-ship missiles to the Persian Gulf coast and Abu Masa and Tum Islands. Conducting missile tests and AD, air defense, tests on almost a daily basis. Hardening ballistic missile entrances and transferring some to the eastern bases. Canceling most pre-planned appearances of the Ayatollah. It's obvious for any serious observer what's coming. I'm telling you, there's a lot. It's getting more tense. And that's just some. And I'm keeping an eye, but there's a lot going on. I'm going to go check out some other stuff now. So am I thinking tonight? No. Am I thinking within a week? 10 days? By the end of the month? Yes. But you can't discount the possibility that Iran may do something really, really ill-advised. To say the least. 15 minutes ago. Why don't we just play this? And you just see it for yourself.
دوازده تا ناو هواپیمابرش هم بیاره اینجا هیچ غلطی نمیتونه امریکا بکنه.
مسئولای ما چه
امریکا حتما شکست خورده است. امریکا ناتوان از هر تعرضی باید بره داخل خودش رو جمع کنه. همون لشکرکشی‌هایی که داخل ایالت خودش می‌کنه بره اونا رو جمع کنه.
مسئولای ما چجوری میتونن آمریکا رو مایوس بکنن؟
امریکا دیگه مایوس هست. امریکا سرافکنده دنیاست. رئیس جمهورش اون پرونده فساد اپستینشه. روابطش با صمیمی‌ترین دوستاش که اروپا و کانادا اینا باشن در آستانه جنگ. امریکا دیگه تمام شد.
Oh, they're going. This is going to happen. This is going to happen quick. Oh, this is going to happen quick. They just don't shut up. And it's saying here the U.S. has given Iran an ultimatum: dismantle the nuclear program or face military option, according to Fox News. Oh my God. There's a quote from a supposed senior U.S. official. They don't name the person. I hate that, but that's the way it is. The round of talks with Iran in Geneva was a hamburger stuffed with nothing. Wall Street Journal: the U.S. is withdrawing all forces from Syria. Israeli Broadcasting Authority: Washington has informed Israel that it will give it prior warning before any potential attack on Iran, with the possibility that the two countries will carry out a joint strike. Look at how everything is escalating. I'll read your comments in a second. Iran and Israel are preparing for war, both on maximum alert. An hour ago, we're about to witness the most vicious and lethal war since World War II. Look at the rhetoric. This is a neutral site. This again an hour ago. Iran is preparing for war with the United States and Israel after concluding that the fundamental gaps between Iran and the U.S. in the negotiations are too significant to bridge. And then they showed the NOTAM that was issued. And now they're stating that there's even more fighters on the way. Israeli Home Front Command: we are preparing for a large multi-front scenario. Oh, there's more coming in. Israeli officials believe the U.S. has completed about 90% of the military buildup it requires in the Middle East. Oh, God, the United Nations. The current stage in the Middle East is very important. Oh, what kind of stupid statement is that? I showed you that, the bases that are on high alert. The United States military buildup of the past 24 hours is massive. It's as if they're preparing for World War III. Okay. So you guys are asking. I'm just going to put this up. This is coming now from Daily Iran News on X. The Ford is reportedly moving at its maximum speed toward the Middle East and expected to cross the Strait of Gibraltar tomorrow. It's currently located off the coast of Morocco. I bet it's closer than that. And these were, I think, on Tusi, he mentioned these. We mentioned it earlier today too, when we were on at 5 o'clock in the morning, my time. The explosions in Iran. More gas leaks. A lot of gas. You don't want to see, like, I'll just show you the other, well, I don't have to show you, so I'm not going to do some PTSD stuff. But the pro-regime saying, they put a video of what happened during the 12-day with the missiles in Israel. They're saying that Israel cannot stop what's coming with the hypersonic missiles toward them. They're actually saying no air defense system can stop Iranian hypersonic missiles. A lot of rhetoric going on. It's a lot. I want to see what they're posting. Uh-oh, I'm having problems with X again. I'm having problems with X. Don't tell me this shit is starting again. Please tell me this isn't starting again. X is not working for me now. I don't know if it's working for anybody else, but it's not working for me. Something went wrong. Try reloading. Really, Rod? I just saw the chat. Oh, yeah, it's frozen. Down again. It's still up in Australia, John? It's not working here. It's also down in Italy. So you guys are getting an idea of what I was just bringing up. All right, I'm going to scroll back up and catch up to what you guys were saying as much as I can. Yeah, they plan to cyberpunk. They plan to fire rockets. Actually, it says ballistic missile test into the Gulf of Oman. It was in OTAN. It is insane the amount of aircraft moving in, Snoopy. Heel says Midnight Hammer was a fail. The whole world knows that. I don't know about it being a fail. I think Iran may have moved the highly enriched uranium before it was hit. That would... A lot of people don't agree with that, but I think they moved it. It looks like Sleeper that this Stepper? I can't see because it's far away. I apologize. It could get busy this weekend. It's going beyond waypoint now. Cyber just advised they issued a NOTAM. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Mark. Red Bull out of stock? Yeah, they're doing tests near the Persian Gulf. And definitely the Strait of Hormuz. Yes, the red line did not meet U.S. expectations. Yes.
So I spoke to Michael over the phone.
Uh-huh.
And like, putting things in good terms, like, so we, and according to the membership, they were offering a free membership throughout the time I was working out, but they canceled all that right now, right? So I go back to make sure, like, we downgrade back to the same plan where it's like $10 a month, because if I don't take advantage of that, if I try to sign up again in the future,
It's going to cost you more.
It's gonna cost $15 a month. So then I'm like, dude, let's like addressing things or whatever. And when can I pick up my last check? And he's like, the check is already there. So if you want to go now and pick it up, we go pick it up now, or
We can pick it up later.
Or we go pick it up later.
Yeah,
Right?
we'll do that.
He was thinking about dropping it off. So I'm like, no, bro, it's okay, bro. If anything, I'll speak to my uncle and then
Yeah, don't worry about that.
All right, so
In a little while, because I just started streaming.
okay. So we really doing the shirt and the pants still?
I think you should.
And
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay.
Go do your thing.
Okay.
All right. Let me see. Where was I now? The fuse is about to be lit. Yeah, I think even starting now, the nerves. I mean, it's really tense. All right, I saw what you said, Nina, about a poll. We'll do that in a minute because I'm trying to catch up. They don't necessarily need to wait for the carrier, but that would be preferable to get it in a position, even if it's southeast of Italy, in that proximity area where tankers can be used. You could see all the tankers being sent in. So maybe this weekend. Who knows? Oh yeah, they've been doing that. I didn't even want to bring that up in the past. How much they've been using those files being. Oh yeah. I think Trump is angry right now. He's frustrated. I don't want to say angry. He's probably really frustrated. Things definitely look like they're getting more tense. Yeah, I've heard different reports of the position of the carrier as well. Yeah, I agree with the UN as a paper tiger. Blue Flash says last he heard the carrier is 48 hours away, which I think makes more sense. In my opinion, I agree. I don't know what's up with the UN. I don't know. I really don't. I don't. Yeah, it could be this weekend. It's through Gibraltar already, Charlie says. Yeah, I think the Iranian people, they got to be careful though, not to stay in their homes. Stay protected when this starts. Just stay indoors. Do not go out when this is going on. Just stay indoors. And I got to be honest, if you live near an IRGC known location, you may want, for safety concerns, to leave those areas as well. If you know that there are installations near you that could be potentially military targets, you may want to find somewhere else to go. A friend, a family member, someone. I would not, just try to create as much distance away from potential sites because you don't want to be near that when that goes on. So you got to have common sense, just get away from areas that they're probably going to use hospitals. It's the same old thing they do all the time. Hospitals, mosques, schools, etc. You know that. They're also going to make sure they put stuff in highly populated areas to make it more difficult to target. The playbook. So if you see this, if people in Iran, if you know there's something nearby you and you know what they're doing, you just get the hell away from those areas. If you can. Seek shelter elsewhere. But I wouldn't trust the regime's so-called designated shelter areas either. I wouldn't. Not me. You think if I lived there, you think I would trust them? You could stay at these shelters that we have designated. Oh, screw you. I ain't falling for that. Because you might do something to all of us and blame it on Israel, the United States, that this happened because of them. Oh, I'm not getting caught up in that trap. No. I don't know. The expectations, who knows what's going to happen? This is the unknown. You never know what. I mean, this is scary. Do you think Trump is waiting for Friday after the market closes? At this point, heck no. He's going to do it when he wants to do it. He's not. That used to be a topic of concern, like the market. Right? I mean, the markets are going to react if they even think there's a potential threat of the world, or the Strait of Hormuz is going to be shut down, or whatever. They get rattled very easily. If they even sniff or whiff that confrontation is coming, it's going to affect the market. That's so wildly talked about that they will hit on a Thursday. Then they will hit on a Thursday. 4D chess. Can you imagine how Hexat is feeling right now? Okay. Exactly. The markets know it for weeks now. So I wouldn't put too much into that. I don't know. Oh, X is back. I think. Wait. It's trying. Nope. Didn't fully load. But from what I saw yesterday with the bulk of tankers, can you imagine the U.S. and NATO hitting both Iran and... Oh, God. I don't know about that. I don't know about Russia. I mean, you're really talking World War III. I think there's a lot on the plate just dealing with Iran. But we were mentioning this in the chat on Discord, because there's a Russian exercise going, joint exercise with Iran. Would Iran use the Russian ships that are there as a cover to do a first strike, thinking the United States won't attack their assets while the Russian Navy is there, docked or even positioned? Would they be that crazy to take that calculation? Putin would flip. He'd turn. I mean, you can't discount anything that this regime is capable of freaking doing. I mean, yeah, Taiwan is always on the radar. While all this is going on, you never know. I'm not saying it will. You never know what China's responsible might be to Taiwan. All right, you're going after Iran. Now we're going to go after Taiwan while you're busy over there with most of your assets. Not most. A lot. We're going to focus on Taiwan now. You're busy. You have a vacancy in the South China Sea. You move your carrier to Iran to focus on that. The Washingtons in Japan docked. Anything's possible. Exactly. Russia can't even handle Ukraine. They're getting their drones from Iran. The Shaheds. Some reason UK Air Force is trending. The UK was so busy this morning with the air traffic, military. It was crazy. So was Germany. So was Italy. This morning, it was lit up. It's only a hop, skip, and a jump over there. Not if you got your hands full in other things. We're spread thin right now. A lot of the chips have been pushed into the Middle East region. I wouldn't bank on that. And do you really want to start a war with China over Taiwan? Do you? In the middle of this going on, possibly? Weeks? Who knows how long this is going to last, if it happens, when it happens. I don't know. That's a lot to gamble on. Power outages across Tehran. That sounds like a cyber. Power outage? Okay, power outage across Tehran. Remember, they had a fire at a power... allegedly. What's up, Tommy Letts? Yeah, a lot of us have been conversing on Discord. Today feels different. I'm telling you, the tension is all time right now. Looking at all the stuff coming out, the tension is super high right now. Israel is on its highest alert right now. The tension is crazy. I'm checking for the latest posts. It's more coming from the pro-regime. Reuters is saying, and this is coming from the pro-regime side, Washington expects Iran to present a written proposal with concessions that will resolve the diplomatic crisis following the failure of talks in Geneva. The failure of talks in Geneva. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will travel to Israel and meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on February 28th. That could be after the fact. I mean, it's crazy, like all the stuff that's coming out. X is back, I think. Yep, it's back. This just came out. Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, said the consequences would be adverse. Strikes on Iran have already occurred in the past, targeting the nuclear facility supervised by the IAEA. Supervised by the IAEA. See, again, he's referring to the lies. We read the report. We showed the report. They totally did the opposite. They did not comply with the IAEA for over 4 years. Removing security cameras, throwing inspectors out. How can you say that with a straight face? What the Russian foreign minister said. Targeting nuclear facilities supervised by the IAEA. No, they weren't supervised by the IAEA because Iran removed all the monitoring equipment and everything else. No, lie. It's in the report. Lavrov, have you read the IAEA report? It's a blatant lie. The situation is more or less stable right now, judging from the data of our Iranian colleagues. Oh yeah, trust everything your Iranian colleagues are telling you. What a joke. That's why Russia is becoming a laughingstock joke. The national security advisors were told all U.S. forces deployed in the region should be in place by mid-March, Reuters cited a senior U.S. official saying. Reuters also reporting that President Trump's national security advisors discussed Iran during a White House Situation Room meeting today. Oh, they were in the Situation Room. That's deep. He was in the Situation Room with all of them. That's why he's quiet. Iran's atomic chief Mohammad Eslami said the country is determined to advance its program in line with IAEA regulations. No one can deprive Iran of nuclear energy, he was quoted as saying by state media. And they keep repeating the Reuters report. Iran's going to submit a written proposal, but they said that within 2 weeks. The president gave you a month, which means 2 weeks. That was last week. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is crazy. Iran International. Iran's education ministry sent threatening text messages to families after students boycotted school classes in solidarity with last month's nationwide protests and to commemorate slain protesters. People familiar with the matter told Iran International. A screenshot of the text message sent to one family shows education officials pointing to students absence on February 17th and 18th, warning disciplinary action would be taken if the absences continued. Sources told Iran International Education Authorities had earlier threatened students with grade deductions over their absence. In recent days, some students have taken down and burned photos of Supreme Leader and his predecessor in classrooms, often singing along patriotic songs. So they're going after the kids too. Jesus Christ. Yeah, they deployed, I'll show you this, during another 40-day memorial in Iran. They did this. Let me see if there's audio. There doesn't seem to be audio associated to it, but look at the armed militia during this. And I don't know how they're going to deal with this aspect. They're going to have to take these fuckers out too. They're going to have to. They've got to remove this militia from the streets of Iran. I mean, my God. That's going to have to be addressed too. This was an hour ago. A video sent to Iran International appears to show protesters gathered in Najafabad on Wednesday evening. So this was earlier. So this was earlier tonight in Iran, local. And look how the people came out. Despite the threats to their lives, literally. The regime has to know this is not going away. No matter what they try, this is not going away. Regardless of what happens, this is not going away. The majority, the vast majority of the people in Iran, as of what I can see, based on my observation, the vast majority want regime change. I'm sure there's people out there that support the regime. But of everything, and we all know that certain outlets promote certain things. Like if I went to a pro-regime site, it's all about the regime, supporting the regime. And then if you visit other ones, you're going to find the opposite. So there's an objectivity there, but it's overwhelming with all the evidence that was allowed to leak out of the country despite the internet blackouts of the atrocities and the humanitarian crimes committed by the regime against their own people. That even the president kind of, I would say he didn't directly say it, indirectly saying, having some kind of remorse and sorrow about the loss of life, but he was very careful how he worded it. But you have to see what else he said. I'll die for Iran, I'll be a martyr and all this. He said some other stuff lately. I think that was today. And this is what somebody in chat referred to. I don't remember who it was. About, because there's different reports. I heard it was about ballistic tests in the Gulf of Oman, the NOTAM. This one is not as clear. Iran has issued a NOTAM indicating planned rocket launches across parts of southern Iran on Thursday. So that's later. Tomorrow. So that's out there. Somebody brought that up in chat. It's like stuff is constantly. Oh my gosh, it's acting up again. Look at X in real time. Look what's going on. This is what my X is doing right now. Check that out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It is acting a little cray-cray right now. Just a little bit. The second round of the Iran-U.S. nuclear talks was met with a muted and often critical reaction in Tehran, where official outlets questioned Washington's commitment after American negotiators left Geneva within hours despite Iran's offer to continue discussions. Because there was nothing left to hear. We heard what we wanted to hear, as expected. We're out. Don't whine about it now. Don't cry about it now. And we all know what the president said earlier. Should Iran decide not to make a deal, it may be necessary for the United States to use Diego Garcia and the airfield located in Fairford in order to eradicate a potential attack by a highly unstable and dangerous regime. Do you see what he said there? The reasoning? To stop a potential attack from the regime. That means Iran strikes first. So it's actually preventive attack to stop them from doing a preemptive strike. That's what I'm getting from that. I'll read it again. I mean, what do you people take from this? Look, I know YouTube was last night. Look, that's his quote. Should Iran decide not to make a deal, it may be necessary for the United States to use Diego Garcia and the airfield located in Fairford in order to eradicate a potential attack by a highly unstable and dangerous regime. So them doing an attack. You see the wording? To prevent them from attacking. That's interesting. That's an interesting little spin. We need to hit them before they're able to strike first. So it's in the wording. And she even said it. Carolyn Levitt, during the White House press. White House spokesman Carolyn Levitt says there are many arguments one could make for a strike on Iran. Adding Tehran would be wise to make a deal. But they say this knowing that there's no deal to be made. They know that. So they're hoping that somehow, I don't know what, Iran just says, okay, we're ready to make a deal. You ain't got much time. What, are they going to get a phone call from Oman? Yeah, the Iranians are willing to give up to your demands. That's not happening. They're just saying this, knowing. I don't know. I want to see if the commander's around. He's probably driving home from work right about now. I really don't like to bother him because that man is so busy. 17 minutes ago, Iran is rushing to prepare for war, including deploying forces, testing air defense systems, dispersing decision-making authority, reinforcing nuclear sites, and cracking down on dissent. Wall Street Journal. You gotta remember, what 2C may have said 4 hours ago, a lot is moved. This is such a fluid situation. Things is coming out constantly. It's getting to the point where now you really have to be minute by minute keeping up with all this stuff that's coming out. You know what I mean? So I'm sure, 2C's 5 hours ahead, so it's already after 10 p.m. for him. But you never know. He might jump back on to do something. I'm just saying. Iran, this is 18 minutes ago. The United States is likely to attack Iran eventually, but not necessarily in the coming days, despite the spike in global media noise surrounding the conflict. Jerusalem Post. They might be putting that out on purpose. I need my phony Pringles. I can always get more. It's time to open up the phony Pringles. Lavrov. Oh, my munchie bag fell. Lavrov. Attacking Iran would be playing with fire. Okay. You should be focused on what's going on in your country and Ukraine, don't you think? You shouldn't have been putting out that fire that you started. Moving on. Now, this is conflicting. Marco Rubio, this is Reuters. Marco Rubio is going to Israel on Saturday to meet with Netanyahu. The other report said February 28th. So that's conflicting. Is he planning this Saturday? And it says here that in the Situation Room, Trump's national security advisors held a meeting today about Iran. I showed this whack jobs video when I started. All right, we're caught up with these posts. It's the rhetoric is definitely getting more intense. And basically, I want to see if anybody else is making comments. I'm going to check his True Social too. Nothing by Rubio. Some reference to a South American leader. Oh, Jesus Christ. Lindsay. Lindsay won't stop. Well, what do they call him? Uncle Lindsay? Look what Uncle Lindsay put out a little while ago. He's taking what the Ayatollah said a couple of days ago. And he says, bold talk for a one-eyed fat man. I'm surprised he didn't say mouse. See you at the movies. Oh, I forgot you don't have movies. Oh, my God, Lindsay. Lindsay. Hey, Moses. Moses, don't forget, you're going to join me on Teams at some point. As long as you're safe. Let me first say that. What's he saying here? Wow. This was 9 hours ago, but I didn't read this one. Jesus, he went off. Lindsay went a little cray-cray this morning. I'll show it. I'll try to read it because it's extensive. To those who are perpetuating false narratives against the United Arab Emirates and President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, personally, you are full of it. I met with him today for an hour and a half. Not only is he alive, but he is also well and as sharp as I've ever seen him. To those powers that feel the need to attack MBZ and the UA for doing the right thing, you do so at your own peril. Our meeting today was very enjoyable and informative. We discussed the historic moment that is facing the region. I told him how much I appreciated his courage and vision to create an Islamic country that can be integrated into the world in a win-win fashion, both for the people of the UAE and for those who visit and do business with the country. However, there are other voices in Islam that have the darkest vision of mankind. Those voices are distinctly in the minority, in my view. MBZ's decision to embrace the Abraham Accords and to modernize his country while still maintaining the faith is the biggest change in the Middle East in my lifetime. What the UAE have done to try to integrate the region with the whole world is one of the bravest and most consequential decisions that any Middle Eastern leader has made. I was very candid with him that he cannot do this by himself. Other people in the region have to buy into what's happening with the UAE, not just be casual observers. To the region, understand that history is about to be made. President Trump wants a region that looks more like the UAE and less like the Ayatollah. The region can move forward if it follows the vision that embraces the light instead of going backwards into the darkness. The UAE's vision for the Middle East and the 2030 vision, previously expressed by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, is something I would fully embrace because it would be great for South Carolina and great for America. The forces that are emerging here recently are trying to undercut the movement toward the light. They are going back to the old way of doing business, playing cheap politics. Your actions have not gone unnoticed by me or others. If this continues, it will do enormous damage to the best opportunity I've seen in hundreds of years to change the Middle East for the better. Finally, to those who believe that the region still flourishes if the Ayatollah regime survives, I could not disagree more. If this religious Nazi regime in Iran still stands after all this bluster and the people are shut out and continue to be oppressed, it puts everything we've worked for at risk, including the Abraham Accords. Now I am off to Saudi Arabia, where I look forward to meeting with the Crown Prince, who has shown a lot of courage and wisdom and is embraced in the past. So it looks like there's something going on. A vision that will forever change the Middle East for the better. Time will tell as to what happens. Now, this is what I read behind the scenes about this. The Saudis maybe not agreeing to the Abraham Accords. It goes back to when Israel hit Qatar. Remember they tried to take out some leaders in Qatar? They didn't like that. They did not like that. When Israel hit targets in Qatar, they did not like that. Saudi Arabia specifically. And they kind of backed off from the Abraham Accords because they're like, look what Israel did. They struck targets in Qatar. That, I heard that was part of it. Good, Nina, have a great rest of your day. Night, whatever time it is. So, reading between the lines, there's a rift there. So I'm sure he's going to talk to the Crown Prince and see if he can iron things out, but good luck with that. After the strike on Qatar, we got our people out of Gaza. Yes, I am. Yes. The fake Pringles are out. Yes, they are. Becky. Yes, they are. But other than that, what time is it? It's 5:30 here, so it's already after midnight in Israel, definitely in Iran. So a lot of the chatter coming from that region is slowing down now because it's late. I don't know how they could sleep. I'll tell you one thing, I wouldn't be resting if I lived over there. I'd be freaking out. That's just me though. You need those there? You know how much this cost me? American? $1.25. The Pringles is $2.50. I could buy 2 of these for the price of 1 for Pringles. So what do you think I do? It's no frills Pringles, the fake Pringles. They taste good too. And they're all intact. It's not like they're all broken and stuff. 10:30 in the UK. Paprika Pringles? I've never heard of such a thing. Kev. I don't blame you, Kev, for not sleeping. I've got my refrigerator pretty supplied with energy drinks. I definitely don't want to drink now because I don't want to be like this for a few hours. Also, I want to thank somebody who may be watching. Her name is Amy.
Bro,
What's up?
when do you want to do that? I'm not rushing you. I'm just like so I can have an estimate because I'm gonna do some stuff.
All right, it's 5:30. Let's take the trip at about 8.
8 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
This way is not as many people in the gym. Well, you know what I'm saying? We'll do it at like 8.
Okay.
Yes, Belmont. Cheese Pringles. You guys, I ate a little while ago, but I don't want to get into the food thing because it always comes back down to the food thing. But I'm hoping that my ground beef defrosts so I can make some. Oh no, I can't talk to him right now. Pine Bush. I'm hoping to make some nice burgers, cheeseburgers, with some French fries later. We'll see if that ever gets done. 2C to go live in 30. I told you he was going to go live again. Did I just finish saying that? The gym is always a possibility. Winter months, it's tough. What is 2C going to talk about? You see, I had a feeling he'd go live again. Did I? I just finished saying that like 15 minutes ago. All right, let me just go. I am a member. I actually did it live. And I know, I don't even want to get Cyber's reaction. Don't you say a word, Cyber. But I respect it. Oh my gosh. Where are my subscriptions? Oh, right here. Where are you, 2C? This monitor is kind of far away. Oh, here he is. I'm still trying to figure out how to get 2C on my phone. I'm having a problem. I mean, I see perks. Now, I haven't heard this. Iran issue notice of war? I'm not aware of that. I know about this. Trump wants Starmer IRGC will attack UK. But that's more about Diego Garcia. I didn't know Iran issues a war notice. What is that? So he's live in a half hour. I may have to look. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna let Tusi discuss it. I'm not gonna step on his toes. I need to find out what the heck that's about.
Bro.
Huh?
So I'm with Michael right now on the phone,
Mhm.
and he's saying that I'm gonna have to set up a new membership in order to cause apparently they cannot do it through my own personal account that's there on file. So when we go in person, he could do it right now. So he's gonna be there until 8. So if we could do it before then, I know you say 8 p.m.
All right. So can you cancel the existing account?
He's saying that one is already canceled.
All right. So we'll be there by like 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. He said okay.
All right, Mike.
Okay.
It gives me time to watch Tusi, and it gives me time to go to run to the gym, and then I'll come back and probably start all over again. Busy times. But I'm not going to step on Tusi's toes on this. I'm going to let him discuss this war notice. Iran issues war notice. You know what I mean? I have to scan the QR. Is that what it is? I think I tried that. Who's in there? MMD. Yeah, it's busy. Hold on. Let me go back and look at my perks. It says I'm a member. Member. I don't know what to do. Your perks. Members only post video call with Mayar. How the hell do I do it? I don't know what to do. Israel has directed its people to prepare for strikes and given them a list of preparedness items. We went over that earlier. They're at the highest level of readiness. We went over that earlier. But thank you, Dusty. All right, Bean. I don't see where the QR... Oh, the QR code when he's live, you mean? But I'm a member already. Is that for the app? I have the app on the phone. I just can't figure out how to tie it in. I'm a member. It says it clearly on the screen. I mean, it says member. I subscribed like a few weeks ago. Member. See? Yes, Moses, we need you there. See, I'm a member. I just don't know how to tie it to my phone. What's going on? I am Israeli. What list? Let me see if I can... We posted it in Discord, I think, earlier today. Hold on. They did tell you that you realize you are in your highest alert of readiness, and there's going to be a 10-minute early warning. You know that, right? For those in Israel. Tusi has an app. I have the app, but I just got to figure out how to get it synced. If you have a link to it, so I don't have to go look for it again, Dusty, please put it in chat. So, this is something... I'm just going to share it on the screen. Emergency instructions have been released for the Israelis. Ensure water for at least 3 days. Photocopies of vital documents and enough cash. Vehicle fuel tank should be at least half full. Battery-powered radio and flashlight. But I'm actually trying to get... This was 2 hours ago. We are preparing for a large-scale multi-front scenario against Iran. Major General Shea Kalper, head of Israel's internal command, at a closed briefing in the Knesset. Oh my God. I pray for all of you in the whole region. Damn, I just had it. And like I said, I'm not doing anything related to Tusi. Let him focus on what he's talking about. The Jerusalem municipality will provide residents with a detailed information booklet outlining emergency procedures and life-saving guidance, along with a full list of available bomb shelters. Oh my God. Grab your guide. Stay safe, Jerusalem. Grab the guide, know your shelters, and be ready. Every second counts. Oh man. Oh man. I have my red alert on for Israel alerts. Oh my God. Just Channel 12 Israel. Rescue organizations and the IDF Home Front Command have been instructed to prepare for war. Maximum defense alert has been declared across multiple security bodies, with the system now on high alert. And there's a video here. It was 10 minutes ago. But it's going to be... I can play it for those that understand it in Israel. I'm going to play this for our Israeli friends in chat. Then I'm going to get off soon because I'm going to check out Tusi. And then get ready to leave the house. Then I'll be back later.
נכון, אז קודם כל יונית נגיד שכל מה שנאמר עכשיו אלו רק דברים שאנחנו יודעים והעברנו אותם על ידי הצנזורה הצבאית כדי שחלילה שום דבר שנגיד לא יפגע בביטחון המדינה. זה דבר מאוד חשוב בימים אלה וזה כפתיח. עכשיו לגבי השאלה שלך, בישראל קיימו ביממות האחרונות יונית דיונים בכלל הדרגים סביב האפשרות שטראמפ ייתן את האור הירוק. עכשיו בירושלים סבורים שההחלטה של טראמפ קרובה מתמיד, והדבר המשמעותי הוא שיודעים לומר בישראל שהסבב השני של השיחות בז'נבה לא הוליד התקדמות בכלל, למרות הדברים האופטימיים ששמענו אתמול משר החוץ האיראני ארגצ'י. בכירים ישראלים שמדברים איתנו הערב אומרים לנו את הדבר הבא: לוחות הזמנים מתקצרים, ברמת המוכנות הצבאית זה אכן כך, אבל בסוף יש אדם אחד בלבד שיחליט. עכשיו המערכת והציבור בדריכות גבוהה, אנחנו פרסמנו הערב מוקדם יותר שהקבינט המדיני ביטחוני שאמור היה להתכנס מחר נדחה ליום ראשון. מה זה אומר אם בכלל לא ברור, אבל מה שכן אפשר להעריך זה שאם תהיה מתקפה אמריקנית, ישראל לא תעמוד מנגד יונית, היא תצטרף למערכה צבאית כזאת. זה לא בהכרח יהיה סימולטני, יכול להיות שזה יהיה דו-שלבי, אבל רמות שיתוף הפעולה בין ישראל לבין ארצות הברית גבוהות מאוד. לסיום אני אספר שהערכה בדרג המדיני והביטחוני היא כזו: אם האמריקנים אכן יתקפו במתקפה נרחבת באיראן, הסיכוי שאיראן תתקוף לא רק אתרים אמריקנים במזרח התיכון, אלא גם את ישראל, הוא סיכוי די גבוה. ולכן, גופי ההצלה השונים ופיקוד העורף קיבלו הנחיה לעשות את כל ההיערכות הנדרשת למצב שבו נכנסים למצב חירום. בגופי ביטחון שונים הוחדרה כוננות עליונה בהגנה, ומערכת הביטחון נמצאת בדריכות. זה מה שאפשר להגיד הערב. כאמור, מעל כל זה, החלטה של איש אחד שעדיין לא התקבלה.
תודה רבה. תודה.
There you go. I don't, if anyone can interpret that, for chat, give us just a general description of what was going on. But that's for our friends in Israel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about tonight. You know what I mean? But I think if we took a poll, I'm not even going to say this weekend, do you think by the end of this month, February 28th, which I believe is on a Saturday, that something's going to go down here? Something's going to happen. I say yes. Well, I know some of you are going to say in the next few days, maybe this weekend. But I'll just, for the benefit, by February 28th, the end of the month, yes or no? Then I'm going to get off because I'm going to go watch to see myself. Hey, hello, Jason. You think they're going to make a deal, Birdman? Shay says next month, so that's 2 no's, 2 yes, or 3 with me. So split right now. 4 yes, 5. I'll say 6 based on what Tommy's saying. Today or 28. What's up, P2? Today or 28 days later. So I think just basically looking at over this quickly, British Soul is like maybe. Dreamer says no. By the end of the month. Oh, hell no. Next month because it's fireworks day in Iran. It's also the new year. March 20th. Wow, a lot of you are saying March. This is pretty split. It's pretty split. Wow. Pretty split down the middle. What's up, Danny? Oh, he's a Lakers fan. Can you tell? Anyway, 2C's live in about 15 minutes. No, because Rubio will be in Israel. That's true. We were talking about that. So, again, I guess we're all waiting to see how this all plays out. What's up, Magoo? Wow. I think that's the majority. March. Look at you guys. March. The majority, March. Wow. Well, technically, I should have said next week because March 1st is on Sunday. But I think it's beyond in March. It's not just March 1st. I think March is the consensus overall, the month of March. Me? Well, I'm in New York, so would you like to guess? It's not the Nets. That's Brooklyn Nets, no. And basketball is like the fourth sport. It's football, baseball, hockey, like pretty much all there. Basketball is like my number 4. But we'll talk sports another time. Anyway, Dreamer says in 48 hours. 2C's live in a few minutes. I'll be back later on tonight. Yes, Yankees, New York Rangers hockey, New York Giants football, and the New York Knicks, or Knickerbockers, for basketball. Anyway, you lovelies. Yes, Danny. Hey, you're a West Coast team, so you don't interfere with us. I would love to see the Knicks play the Lakers. Good luck with that for the Knicks. Friday midnight. We'll start very soon, Tommy says. You think they're waiting for the IRGC to make the first move? I don't know. There's so many ifs. There really is. There's so much. There's so much. Anyway, you lovelies. Danny. And like I said, it looks like you guys got the March thing going on. So we'll say, you guys say March. Anyway, Tusi on in 12 minutes. Everybody have a great rest of your evening. For those that are going to go watch Tusi, enjoy Tusi TV. Just look up Tusi TV and you'll find it if you haven't seen it already. And I'll see everybody at some point later on. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Peace to all. Have a great rest of your evening, morning, whatever time it is. See everybody.